after all these years, I finally realized like how people, mostly women, manipulate sex. I talked about how it was like more obvious to me like 4 to 6 months ago. Well, what happened? And I'll share that with you. I met some amazing people at these nudist resorts where I was going, which I thought were nudist resorts. They were actually, well, yeah, they cover themselves with the whole nudity, cover themselves. But they're actually drug addicts, most of them in these various places. But they're like swingers clubs, and what do you call that? They call it lifestyle clubs. A lot of sex, but hey, look, nobody's more supportive of sexual pleasure than me. Of course, it shouldn't be, something that's paid for, like, unless you're disclosing it, in my opinion. But that's another issue. Legally here in America, except for Nevada, it's very much illegal. But people still, here in Florida, they got a deal whereby it's like even the exchange of rent is for basically illegal. Okay, look it up. It's very offensive to people. I realize that, but I met some of these people, and one girl said to me, and then I got more verification from other people that pretty much the majority of the women that were not living like alone were doing that. And I kind of myself got propositioned because I'm at a point whereby I'm gonna go back to Ohio, or maybe it's, well, just stay with me. I like you, and well. So it's like the transaction was kind of offered, and I've seen this in traveling networks in which I'm involved. Hey, I'll host you, but this is kind of how I am. So the problem with this is that, like I said, the president, for example, was at the Army-Navy game, and they're all making a big deal about how, hey, look at this, all these people are cheering for Donald Trump. Well, of course, he's a commander-in-chief. It's like going to I've seen these people do this too. They'll go to like a, what do you call that, a restaurant? What do you call that, right? And they'll order something, and then they'll start flirting with the waitress. These guys are, I mean, there's a video I just saw on, Anna Maria Island. They're all flirting with this guy, cute guy named Johnny, I think his name was. So then there's, what do you call that? Yeah, with guys that they'll just go ahead and flirt with the girl. Well, yeah, they're working for a tip, y'all. Of course they're gonna flirt back, and they're being in an uncomfortable situation, you can tell. So specifically, this woman who was like telling me she didn't feel happy with this one guy because I think his name was Fred too. It really pisses me off to hear these things. He made certain requests and demands for an amount of time of it, and it's typically with women who are being used for this. It's a form of human trafficking for older people. So that's where I learned about it, and I looked into it, talked to some deputies for different sheriff's departments. One man, Charles, okay, he works in Sarasota. He's not actually a deputy. He's actually what do you call that thing? I'm a jigger. State Highway Patrol Troop. He believes it should be legal, and he doesn't really care to prosecute. Well, Tampa's a big deal. Tampa's got a big mess. I'm gonna show you this. This is Lido Key. Tampa's a real big mess because they got this thing called Highway 19. I guess a bunch of girls just hang out there, and then oh yeah, another thing too. I talked to these deputies for sheriff's office in what's that? There's like a beach. Oh man, Casper, whatever, Capernaum or something like that. And I think it's Venice. It's like a state park or something like that. Caspernum or something. And I looked into it to see what's going on here. Like, is it actually nude? The deputy told me it's not legally, but they're letting it go. But what he said was that we're catching guys who are selling themselves. And in Oliver Park in Miami, they're selling themselves as well, a lot of guys. And then, of course, because it's a lot of gays over at that nudist beach, so I guess the big thing that they're doing, older guy will bring in a younger guy, typically Latino for some reason, and those kind of take advantage of him. But they're paying for everything for him. And I'm seeing this more and more, and I didn't realize like how serious this was. It's outlined in the 21st chapter of Exodus. It's in all the churches. You see the girl put up when they're praising the Lord, right? They're always putting up their left hand. It's not funny, but they want to be bought. And if on Facebook, I've gotten girls who would try to be cute with me and from different countries. I don't need to name anybody, but yeah, basically they just want to be bought. They think it's, but okay, so then you got, oh, well, Jason, how are people going to work then? The man's the provider, it's tradition. Yeah, it's tradition, but it's not working. The Federal Reserve notes, dollars, pounds, euros, Nairis, Nigeria. So, Rand, South Africa, whatever it is. Pesos. When I throw pesos their way, doesn't have to be your God. There are other ways to provide for your housing rather than just sleeping with a guy, which, it's cute, I'm not saying you gotta split it either. I'm just saying that when you make a transaction, the exchange, I see it now. I get it. I didn't realize it was to this extreme. It's pretty much across the board, especially in the churches. I love this. Look at the sand. Oh, God have mercy. So there's all different kinds of ways that they do this, well, yeah, I mean, just cash too. That's weird, man. Look at that. I want to show this to you. There's not a cloud in the sky. Not one. Nope, not one. That's cool. It's about 81 or something. I think I saw it was what it was. So, yeah, that's. I guess the best way to describe, and it really makes more sense too when you have children and you talk with your children about, when they get older, how they can have babies and meet somebody, all that stuff. And there's a lot of, even on Facebook, they're talking about this stuff, like basically who's gonna buy them, essentially. So I keep looking around to make sure what it looks like around me. I'm like it's easier to see when I put the, what I'm saying, the shade kind of thing. So that's really where I got it, and it's like, what? And it's not just the nudist resorts, it's the traveling networks, it's the churches, the clubs, a lot of clubs. They get close with you and then they kind of work their way in. I know people and the guys I've talked to them now, I get it. They want a girl to stay no more than a few days because they're in the squatter laws. A lot of girls just want to get in, just hang out. And of course, the strip clubs too. I met a lot of girls strip clubs. Now I'm really getting it, They want to come hang out with you. Oh, let me come to your hotel tonight. It's another one too. They use hotels. It's typically the girls. A lot of gay guys do it. Like I said, it's really just a different lifestyle. And I say, yeah, legalize it so that way you give proper disclosure for your sexual intercourse that they're doing. A lot of countries have done that, and it's worked for the divorce lawsuits. That's typically what's going on. And I talked to attorneys. They call it price per fuck, PPF. And there's these escort agencies. You can see it on YouTube. A lot of good videos about. I don't want to. You don't need. But if you want to see more about it, what it's really all about. I have never seen a happy couple who's doing that kind of stuff, whereby the man is the provider. I've done that myself. So, you girls, you are complete in Christ. There's so many opportunities for you, and guys, you see her as complete in Christ, and men, you are complete in Christ, and you don't need to earn by paying for.